Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the mid-January 2022 reading for the zodiac sign of Virgo. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I will provide you the meaning of the cards as well as any intuitive messages that I have. I do recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising, though, so you get a full picture of what's going on. Again, mid-month reading, so if you find this a few days before the middle of the month, a few days after the middle of the month, that's totally fine. You'll find this when you need it. And column number 1, we're going to do what's wrapping up, so what's happened in the last few weeks or month. Column number 2, we're going to take a look at what's happening through the end of January. Column 3 is going to be money. Column 4 is love. And then the 5th and final column, we're going to do a message from your future self or spirit guides. Also do 3 yes or no questions, a healing note, and your crystal for the month. But let's go ahead and jump in, Virgo, and get started. The summary card that we have is motion. So often, I would say that there's a pretty good chance that things have been moving for you in the last few weeks. Things in motion. But let's clarify and see what messages we have coming through. The first card that we have is the Ace of Swords. Anytime we have an Ace card, this is a card of newness. In the case of Ace of Swords, this is typically a new idea or some sort of new mental clarity. Some of you could have had a surgery as well. Ace of Swords does sometimes indicate that, but likely something new coming in, so that new thing in motion for you. Then we have the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is about mastering your craft, enjoying the work that you're doing. It's really that hard-working card. You work hard and you're really good at what you're doing. So likely this new thing or whatever's in motion for you, Virgo, is something that you've been working really hard for. Then at the bottom here, we have the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is a card of self-defense and kind of having to protect yourself against competition. If you see, there's all these wands trying to whack this one person, that being you. So you might have been having to defend yourself or feeling like there was competition in the last few weeks. But let's clarify this message and see what we've got going on. The first card that we have at the top here is the World card. The World card is a card of completion. It's truly the world going full circle. So I feel like you have completed something and now you're picking up something new, Virgo, especially with that Ace of Swords. Some sort of new idea, new mental clarity. So some sort of completion. It could have been the end of the year, so it could have been 2021 being completed, but definitely a card of completion. Then we have the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is a really wonderful card. This is wishes coming true. It's material abundance. It's good health. It's all things that you've been asking for. It's really whatever you hope for, you will receive. For those of you that have surgery recently, I do see a pretty good recovery coming for you with this Nine of Cups card. But what this is really saying too is whatever you've been working towards is going to come to fruition. So whatever you've been working on is absolutely coming to you, Virgo. Then at the bottom here we have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is very free-spirited, very creative, which makes sense because I feel like with that Ace of Swords, whatever this new thing is, you're finding that you're having to be very creative. The nice thing about this too is I feel like this is like a freedom card. So the message that's also coming through with this is that you're going to be out of this position of self-defense and competition. So if you're not feeling that shift yet, Virgo, it definitely is coming for you. So let's take a look then at our next column, what's going to happen through the end of December. We have the card Reaction. We're going to read into this message a little bit more. Sometimes with the reaction card, it's saying don't overreact, and sometimes it's saying you need to be thoughtful and you need to be reacting to the things around you. So let's clarify and see what direction that's going for us. The first card that we have is the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is a very tired card. It's a card of stress, exhaustion, having too many burdens. If you look at this person, they're carrying all these wands, they're overwhelmed, and their head is like hunched over, they're crying into these wands. This is like a message to put things down, not be doing too much. Don't exhaust yourself, don't overwhelm yourself. Make sure you're not overcommitting to things as well. Then we have the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is a card of keeping and maintaining boundaries, which really makes sense based on what we just had here. So again, knowing when to say no, make sure that you're not overcommitting or doing too many things. With the Nine of Wands, all of these wands are stuck into the ground and they really serve as like a filter. They're not a fence, but it's only letting in the things that you want to let in, rather than just taking on everything that comes your way, Virgo. Then we have the Page of Cups at the bottom here. The Page of Cups is very studious, very hardworking. This can be a card of new love for some of you, but I do think that this is echoing the earlier hardworking card. So I do continue to see you being very studious, working very hard towards whatever this new thing is that you're working on. But let's clarify here and see what we've got going on. The first clarifying card we have is the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is very nurturing, very healing, very supportive. So the message that's coming through on top of the Ten of Wands is that you need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, Virgo. Again, really knowing when to say no, not overcommitting, not taking on too many things, not overwhelming yourself. It's okay to say no and make sure you don't get burnt out. Then right below that, we have the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups back to back there. The King of Cups is also very supportive, but it's a very tolerant card and it's very empathetic. I think that you've been tolerant for too long is the message that's coming through, Virgo, or you've been very empathetic, so you've been taking on extra things for people that maybe you shouldn't have been, or you feel sorry for somebody and you kind of overcommit. You're not really putting yourself first. So do make sure that you're thinking about yourself and have those clear boundaries. Then at the bottom here, we have the Seven of Cups. This is a card of having too many choices or potentially commitment issues. So if you see the card, there's something different in every single cup here. So lots and lots of options come with the Seven of Cups. And that's on top of the Page of Cups, which is again that working very hard card. So some of you might find that you are having a hard time like picking what path to go. What I'm getting is that this new thing you're working on, there's going to be lots of almost like, what if I do this or what if I do that? So you're going to have lots of potential options. However, do trust your gut, know what you're doing is correct, make sure you're not overcommitting, make sure that you're not overwhelming yourself, and don't be non-committal. So once you know what path you want to go on, you're going to have lots of options, but make sure that once you pick an option, Virgo, you stick with it and go for it. In the next column, we're going to take a look at anything related to money. So this could be your career, job, finances, businesses you run, investments you have, really anything associated with money. Starting off with some really good cards there. Let's see what we have at the end. Okay, first things first, we have the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is a card of victory, award, recognition, good news, success. You do have two recognition cards back to back, so I do likely think you'll be getting recognized for something at work or related to money. But again, a very victory type card, very successful. It's good news, it's recognition. Then we go down to the star and we have the big star here at the top. This is like being in the spotlight. So again, being recognized for something, being rewarded. The star card is also kind of a renewal of energy. So you might be renewing contracts at work. You might just be feeling good because it's the new year and you're ready to go. But it's a very hopeful card, very renewed energy. It's also a card of clarity, and again, being in the spotlight with the star there. So I do think there will be some recognition in the work world for you. Then at the bottom here, we have the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is self-imposed restrictions or isolation. So if you look at this card, this person is all bound up and they have a blindfold, but then there are swords stuck in the ground all around. So this person can very easily scoop back and cut themselves free. So the message I typically get when I see the Eight of Swords is to make sure that you're not limiting yourself. We'll see how that message comes through as we clarify a little bit more. But I would say you'll be getting recognized and make sure you're not limiting yourself in the money column. But let's take a look at what messages we have coming. We also have the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is a very nostalgic card. It could be a gift. It could also be a reunion. So you see this one cup being gifted to this other person. So again, a card of gifts. There could be a financial bonus or reward associated with this recognition you're getting, which is really wonderful. So I do think that some of you will have a financial gift associated here. But you could also just be reflecting on your work. Like it could be a 10-year anniversary and you'll be highlighting all the things that have happened in 10 years. So very nostalgic feeling and very gift feeling, but again, associated with that recognition and that success. Then we have the Five of Pentacles. I don't typically like to see the Five of Pentacles in the money column because this can be a card of financial loss. However, that doesn't really seem to be the message coming through, especially paired on top of the Star card. The Five of Pentacles can also be a card of worry. You do have two isolation cards because the Five of Pentacles can also be isolation, along with the Eight of Swords at the bottom there. So some of you could just be keeping to yourself at work as the message is coming through. But I also feel like you've been worrying about something, and the message that I'm getting, since this is on top of the Star card, is that your worries are going to be getting put to rest. Like you're going to be renewed. You're going to be given the hope that you need. So whatever you've been worried about at work is going to be coming to an end. Then we have the Eight of Wands at the bottom, which makes sense with what I just told you. This is a very quick card. It's a card of action. It's news arriving. So again, I think something is going to come in and you're going to stop worrying. You're going to get the news you've been waiting for. And again, that's on top of the Eight of Swords. That's the card of self-restriction or self-imposed restriction. So like the news might have been here and you just haven't seen or felt it yet. Maybe since this is a recognition reading, really, like recognition is coming through really strong. Maybe you didn't feel like you've been seen or appreciated at work, but all along you have, and now you're getting the recognition. But overall, things look pretty good. I do definitely think there will be some news coming in and some recognition for you. Definitely some financial gain for some of you associated with that success and recognition, but also being able to put some worries to rest, which is good. So in our next column, let's go ahead and talk about love. So this could be family, relationships, kids, anything related to love. We're going to start off with a really strong relationship card there at the top. Okay, the first card we have is the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is a very romantic card. It is a card of love. It's a card of partnership. It's a great card to have in our love column. It can also be a card of proposal and marriage. Some of you could be getting engaged or be getting married as well. But overall, like I said, it's a love card, so great to have in our love column. Then we have the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is a card of needing to rest, retreat, renew, recover. Some of you could be feeling tired. Maybe if you are wedding planning, that takes a lot of energy. Or maybe you've been like looking for somebody for a long time and you're like feeling tired of looking for someone to be in a relationship with. So I feel like some of you are tired in the love sense. Then we have the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is very active. It's a card of new, it's new project, new creative idea. So I definitely think for those of you who are single or looking, new love will be coming into you if that's what you're seeking. But some new energy. Again, this could be new wedding planning or new engagement, new relationship. Let's clarify though and see what other messages we can get for the love column here. Okay. The first card we have at the top is the Hermit, our Major Arcana card. This is going within for clarity. It's about being on a personal quest, oftentimes for personal truth or very spiritual. We have the light here, and this light is actually within you, Virgo. So it's about going within to find guidance and know what you're wanting in life. I feel like a lot of you know what you want now, and that makes sense as we're going into this relationship or this engagement or this marriage. So this is good. I feel like you're living your personal truth in this relationship. So that feels very good. Then we have the Ten of Swords. We have two back-to-back tired cards. The Ten of Swords is a card of like kind of painful rock bottom. It's very low feeling. Some of you could be out of a relationship and feeling this very low energy, like you're feeling at rock bottom without being in a relationship. Some of you are feeling tired. So I do want to acknowledge that some of you are feeling some pretty low energies. However, if you're single and looking, I do think cards are coming together quite nicely for you. But I do want to acknowledge that some of you are feeling that. Then we have the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is about leaving a legacy. It's retirement. It can also be inheritance. So with this new card, this Page of Wands energy, which is very much so a card of newness, you could be finding out about a new inheritance. There could be somebody retiring. It makes sense again for those of you getting married or engaged because that's very strategic and long term, which the Ten of Pentacles speaks to. Overall looking good. It's feeling very long term though. Like some of you are retiring, maybe you have a parent retiring or your spouse is retiring. But it also could be an inheritance, but leaving a legacy from the engagement or marriage perspective. I do think that if you're entering into a new relationship, this card is saying that there's potential that this new relationship will be long lasting as well. So now let's move into our fifth and final column, which is a message from our future self or spirit guide. We have the card of time. So this could be telling us that things may be taking time. This could be saying pay attention to your time, but let's clarify and see what message we have. The first card that we have is the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is a card of nightmares. You can see this person is like actually sitting up in bed. Oftentimes it's like anxiety, grief, or depression. So feeling very strongly something is keeping you awake. It's kind of a card of worry. Let's clarify that message and see what we have there. We have the Ace of Cups next. Again, anytime we have an Ace card, this is a card of newness. This could be a new baby, new relationship. This is also a proposal and marriage card. So I definitely feel that for a lot of you or some of you. Then we have the Five of Swords at the bottom. The Five of Swords is like bully, theft, typically like not a great relationship. I'm getting the feeling that there's a relationship that's bothering some of you. There's not a very good relationship, and that's what that kind of worry, nightmare, staying awake at night associated with the Nine of Swords. But there does seem to be something new coming in. Let's clarify this column though and see what else we can find out. Makes total sense. We're going to get the Fool card in there. And the Ten of Cups, my favorite card. So what I'm getting is that there is a relationship that is coming to an end, but it seems to be good, healthy, and there will be new relationships coming in. At the top, we have the Fool card, which is fresh hope. It's taking chances. It's going on a new path. It's new beginnings. So that's on top of our our Nine of Swords, which again is that kind of worry card. I do think this relationship is going to end and you can move on. It could be your spouse, it could be a friend, it could be a business partner. It just feels like there's some sort of relationship that's bothering you. However, it's going to end and there will be new beginnings there. We follow that with the Ten of Cups. So we have the Ten of Cups on top of the Ace of Cups. This Ten of Cups is a family card. It's contentment. It's total love and support. If you know me, you know this is my favorite card. We have the rainbow with all the cups full. There's a happy couple. There's kids playing. The grass is green. Water is running. There's a beautiful house in the background. It's really the card of everything. And that's on top of our Ace of Cups, which is that new card. So whatever this new thing is that's coming in is extremely promising. It's everything that you've wanted. Then we have the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is a card of heartbreak, card of separation, loss. It could be depression, which again, I do think some of you will be sad about this relationship that's going awry. But I think the other side, the grass is very green on the other side for you, Virgo. But acknowledging that there's a not very good relationship that seems to be coming to an end here. Well, perfect. At this point in time, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions. We're going to use the Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, you can pause the video and think of them really quick. But for question number 1, we have the Two of Diamonds. This is number 18 card. This is going to be a yes. Question number 2, we have the Queen of Spades. This is the number 42 card. That's also a yes, especially related to love. Then we have the Queen of Hearts. This is the number 23 card. This is also going to be a yes. So yes, yes, yes for you, Virgo. Then if you watched your earlier January reading, I did pull you a card from the Healing Stones deck. This month your stone is amethyst, which helps with dreams, it helps with losses, sorrow, especially with some of you maybe having this relationship come to an end. It helps you let go, it helps you trust your intuition, it helps you stay connected to reality, and it's very, very beneficial for mental clarity. And last but not least, we're going to end with a Healing Note card from the Healing Note deck. Your Healing Note message is walk gently, breathe peacefully, and laugh joyfully. Thank you so much, Virgo, for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe, and let me know how this video resonates with you. Also, if you subscribe, you'll be notified when I post new videos each month. I did include my Venmo in the comments box if you'd like to make a donation. Thank you again, Virgo, and have a wonderful rest of your January.